This is just AMZN for Tuesday, October 29th, 2019. We got that little bearish candle that I was talking about yesterday. So you could have been looking for a trade to pull back a little bit. We had a really nice open. Excuse me, a really nice open. The high wave candle here. The very next candle broke down. We retested. We actually put in a very similar pattern of a double bottom like we did yesterday. But we weren't bouncing off support. And so this one bouncing here, I mean, it was an old support from yesterday, but not as old as the one we had down here. So I'm sure there were some bulls going bullish here, getting in, thinking it's trading up. It'll do the same thing as it did yesterday. And instead it just rolled right back over. So this was a really quick S-curve here, went into another S-curve. Both of these had very similar prices for the option for the puts. Came down a bit here. The only thing I really saw for this level was yesterday's open price high. Otherwise, I mean, this line's been here since, is it February or something? It's not coming up. Oh, there it goes. October 30th last year to February 1st this year. So that's interesting. It was about a year ago that this line got drawn in here. Actually, the end point of that line way down at 1484.34. So I mean, it's made a long way up. But I mean, regardless of the line here, just taking this to 2R, holding on for it to potentially move down here and just tightening your stop up as it goes. That's a good way to trade it. So looking at the puts, this is where I was saying the value of the puts was very similar here and here. Really, you could have been buying, this low, even doing like 650 by 550. I mean, not to say you would have caught the open, but if you're looking for this to hold and a high wave candle like that, I mean, it should hold. If it's going to move directionally, it should hold. And so, we did pull back, not quite to the level of the low here and the high on the 5 minute of the stock, but we did pull back. Even if you didn't get in 650, you could have been doing 7 by 6. And again, that would have worked here, 7 by 6, even if you missed it here. If you got in here, either you could have scalped or you could have held through some pain and then watched it just run. And again, getting in even 7 by 6, it moved up to 9 to give you 2R pretty quickly. It kept going all the way to 11 here. And so really that would have been 4R trade. And sure, it could go higher, but as it does this double top on the option and double bottom on the stock, where do you want your stop in case you do get stopped out, or do you just want to get out? And once it does this, where it's kind of breaking down, you could move your stop really tight, or you could just be like, okay, if I get back up to 950, if I get back up to 9, I'll just take profit and get out. And it worked. And, just recognizing that you're not going to get the absolute bottom, you're not going to get the absolute top on one of these moves. And that's okay. So here's where we retested back in the 21, started to roll over, and just couldn't keep going. A nice high wave candle, went the wrong direction quickly, which is good because it meant you're wrong quickly. And then here's where we had another double bottom, a neckline retesting here, and that continued. But it only came back up to about the same level that we retested here and held that as a relative high for the rest of the day. So that was interesting there too. Formed a little bit of a triangle, and then it looked like it was rolling down. I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually roll down a little bit from here, sideways to down slightly, short term, and just allow some more bears to be trapped again, and then see if it'll make a push above this, really pushing up through this high or through this downtrend channel. I tried playing around with the level a little bit to see if, okay, does this angle fit better or whatever, and I'm still not sure exactly where it would fit best. But if you just move it up, you lose any connection here, but you're slicing through the wicks, but you're holding like all of these highs. And so the only other thing I could do there is really move this so it's a different pitch. maybe something like that. We start to hit some of the lows through here. I guess not many over here. Really just start to hit some of these and the highs here. So just giving it a framework. I'm going to leave it where I got it here, just knowing that it's not going to be exact. But if we do something where we consolidate a little bit more, I mean, this looks like still a great trend. You have lower highs, you have relative lows, except for this candle. This candle's open shouldn't be taken out. The low shouldn't be taken out. So if we can stay in this range, and again, we're in this range right now, if we can do that sideways a little longer, do something like this and evaluate where we're at, we still have a little bit of positive momentum on the squeeze, but that may be waning at this point, and we'll just have to wait and see if it totally shows some blue bars in here showing it's losing that momentum. But anyway, looking back at the 5 minutes, in here, you could have really gotten into a rally going here, or at least a neckline and breakout. And, for it to pull back like this and go sideways, you were probably happy with a small gain there. Looking at the calls that we've been getting in, this is 1,800 calls, getting in around 250. Let's see, this one in here was 227, so maybe 250 by 2 is something I'd set up, and that wouldn't have worked really well. It just moved up to 3, came back all the way to 225, and then went back up a little bit. So it's possible if you had just gotten in over here and flipped it out, you made an R, or half an R, or whatever it is. You made something small just based on what the option is doing in the range you would expect to see out of something like this. So we'll continue to look at how this plays out this week and see what other reaction we're getting after this earnings. One thing I will also point out is, let's see, the high of this candle where it broke down for earnings was 1782. The high of this candle is 1781.52. So we're still, no wait, is that the right one? Yeah, okay. So we're almost back up to this level, but this is going to act as resistance if we don't get above it sooner rather than later. So right now I'm just seeing that kind of play out, that you've got some higher lows, lower highs. We could break out. We're high enough and close enough to this level, but I may get the feeling, like, hey, we shouldn't be up here yet. So sideways to down slightly is still kind of what this downtrend channel is showing. So we'll just have to see if it's going to play out and pull back a little bit more, or if it's going to build up some more momentum, something like this, or go back into building momentum and then really just skyrocket, really move. That's still a potential. We also still have the potential of rolling over. So we're a good point to rest. We got to rest today. I mean, we could just continue bullish tomorrow. Not out of the question. So still just be nimble, watch what the opening candles are doing. This one had a really nice high wave that went in the direction, it broke down and then continued in that direction is what I'm trying to say. It's not like we had a breakout and ended up being a false breakout and we spent the rest of the day down. It's like, no, it actually moved the direction. And so it's nice to see that kind of trait come up, and just a matter of catching that on a retest like this or like this. And we'll keep looking for those two. So hope this helps. This is Justin, AMZN. Thanks.